Eastern World Cup versus Australia, and they finally said yes this time around for Season 5 Division 1. Nevertheless, we'll be loading in on the side of Ma for Ancestor. Straight off the rip, we are getting those traversability tentacles across the trees to go all the way back down to what seems to be, if I'm not too disoriented, the 3 side of the map. If that's Shaq, no, it's the 9 side of the map. My God, I'm a little bit just not all there. In all honesty, we do see HHY around the rock there. We do see our Renato chilling, just chilling about. We do see Effect just ready to use that Lithe proc into the window. They're all in safe positions, and this is exactly what you love to see. And I always do facilitate this point, is just make sure that you're always next to a pallet, next to a window, somewhere where it's going to make the killer chasing you a little bit disadvantageous to them. But we are going to be going back over to the shack side, checking out uncorrupted generators, as we do see scratch marks leading all the way back down to the side of 5 around the shack. Going to be maybe pre-dropping this, but no, going a little bit greedy and trying to make the window, unfortunately getting hit with a Kagune tag, and now going to be following up. We do have 3 dashes at our disposal now being enraged, so we are going to be slapping the pallet in the face of Butt. That was absolutely risky and incredible, both at the same time that they paid off. But now we are running to this little short broken 4 walls here, where we have greeted it on the side of Lin, and we are going to be playing it very effectively, not dropping it, playing so patiently, winning the 50s, and now able to make the pallet of 5. No, going to be going down for the first down of the game. That's our totem in the background. Proc, the beamer save coming in. I'm going to lose my voice all over again. Chief, take it away.
Oh my God, and Hunter, we see the first generator of the trial pop for that beamer save. I mean, you can't ask for a better start to the game. The down, I have to say, Ma did play that chase quite well. He won those 50s, and we do see our Renato winning yet another one at Shack, but he's opted to leave chasing Ace. Chasing Sakuda, our Ace, actually just getting the tag and going back for this Renato at Shack, knowing that we actually still have the pallet here, and I think Renato has just taken as much distance as possible. He might be all the way up to the 2 side of the map right now as well. We did see Scratch Mark setting up there just a second ago. Oh, and we found someone else. We find our Jake just on this rock here, Hunter.
Yeah, now we're going to be playing the mind games around the Palagym here, playing so greedy, but unfortunately getting hit by another Kagune tag. And now we're going to be following up with that chase once more as we pre-drop the 3 tile here, the rock filler, and just try to make as much distance as we possibly can, or even just potentially run around until we can make the short bus. We are going to be playing very patiently, not preemptively dropping that pallet, but eventually we do, as we can't risk being hit, and we're going to be vaulting back into the pallet with the tech as well. Not being caught out and being able to make that vault, make a way to even potentially a more advantageous spot for our survivor here, going to be utilizing the top of that hill, the balance landing coming into 1 with this Palagym, my God, and we have evaded the killer, and this has forced Ma to potentially even leave. We do still have the heartbeat reading, so I'm not too sure quite what's happened here. We do see another generator in the background, Proc, as we do see Effect take chase at the moment all the way over at 10, as 10 has been popped as well. We do potentially need to leave this and probably chase somebody else. Another Kagune tag onto Effect here, who is going to be running the long side of the main war, going back all the way to top 12, maybe potentially if we can make enough distance, but we have vaulted the window, as we do have the God window at our disposal here, and now playing the check spot mind games here. Does he win them and then make away as much distance as he can? Yes, he does, and it's forced Ma to leave even more, but everybody in the trial injured still. No hook to be had yet, and they're playing extremely aggressive. We're going to be taking that kick onto 6 just before we continue on the chase back onto Lin, who only has his pre-drop pallet over at 6 to be working with. We are going to be playing the check spots on the edge of the walls here, going to be trying to make the filler, and we make it this time. Pre-dropping it in the process is going to force Ma to play around it and try to get a mind game, but just not falling for it on the side of chillin'. He is absolutely chilling in this chase. He's going to go all the way back down to the shack and vault the window, potentially playing extra greedy, not using the shack pallet there. Going to be faking one way, going the other, just fast vaulting it from the outside back into the inside. A little bit of a crouch at the door there, initiating the 1v1. Going to be playing the mind games on the side of Ma again. The back vault coming in, not quite catching off, chilling off guard. My God, this guy is an absolute god. Going to be vaulting that window as well. Still greeting the pallet, and the sprint burst coming in from Sakuda, so we can't even chase Sakuda. We need to be extra careful, and we get a 99 resilience heal. No!
Hunter, what are we seeing? I mean, Lin has just put on a show at Shack. 99 his reset, gotten it mid-chase, gotten the tag to continue. Sakuda working the gen in the chase, seeing it pop now in the background as well. I mean, Lin has just put on a masterclass. Like, I do not know what else to say except for Ma is, like, out of his element right now. Welcome to OSL Chinese Dragons. This has been... I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. Lin has not lost a 50. He has not been, like, put out of position once. Everything has been perfectly calculated. Winning another one on the bus. I mean, Hunter, this is becoming problematic. Ma has pain res, 4 stacks in hand, 1 single application of eruption. What can we do as the 4th generator pops? What can we do, Hunter?
The frustration really setting in now as well. Ma really getting a little bit antsy here, but is going to get his first down of the trial onto Effect, who has died all the way to corner 5. If we can see what kind of spread that we have, maybe we can work with something, but the gen pops, and this will be the first hook onto our goats. The Chinese Dragons, I dare say they're just going to be leaving. They said, screw the 0.5 deduction in our point system. We're kind of 1-3 stage this anyway, potentially even 1 stage if we're not careful. Sakuda just kind of hiding around the rocks there, ready to pull quickly if Ma gets too far away from the hook here. They might opt just to play safe. In all honesty, they are working the 9 gate. I don't think anybody's working the 6 gate at the moment. That'd be absolutely crazy if they were. Yeah, nobody on the 6 gate at the moment. We did see them rotate all the way back down to 9. It'll just be very interesting to see. Maybe Sakuda kind of trying to set up for pull here. I would imagine so, probably being around the 3 to 4 side of the map, as Ma is really taking vantage point here, trying to spot out anybody crossing for the save, but can't seem to find anyone at this point in time. We do see the gate proc open. Are they going to be going for the save? The 3-man save, they are. They say, screw it, we're going to be playing for it, chillin'. Effect. And also, Sakuda coming, or HHY, sorry, coming in for the save. Effect off the hook as well. We do see the follow-up here. Taking a body block is HHY as well. They're going to be trying to get that down onto our ace here. Got to be taking the tag. Wait, I'm pretty sure that they're out if they're not careful. Chillin', where are you? Can you take a body if needed? No. We are going to be going down at the 4 walls here over at corner 8. And that is mighty unfortunate stuff. Can we corner the Paladin in time? Do we get a Paladin safe? Please tell me we get a Paladin safe. Destroy the dead Paladin. Don't go for the beam. No. And we've taken the hook onto HHY. That's going to at least buy us 2 stages on the board. We can still potentially 2-stage out this as well. We do see Chillin' in the background. Just kind of chilling, waiting for his moment. Going to be going down on the side of Sakuda. And maybe they just take the outs here because this is kind of just a rinse, repeat effect. And we are going to be taking another hook a little bit too late for these pain resonance stacks, as we never got any pain resonance value in the first place. There's a very aggressive heal there as well. The body block's coming in. We do have 1 more body from HHY to make sure that the injured survivor doesn't get tagged. We do have 15 seconds of endurance effect and sprint burst in hand. And they're out. And Sakuda and all of them cannot mess up at all. You have to ensure that you are doing everything to the T. Better than what Chinese Dragons just did. And they didn't concede it down until the last generator popped. So if you're going to better that, you need to make sure you don't even go down at that point. So I think also just another thing that we have to take into consideration, right, was I think Mush should have really honed down on one person instead of going for all those tags at some point, because that really came back to bite him in the ass. Even if the chase was just extremely long, I think in the end he would have been able to get a hook that was a little bit more away from the 6 and 9 gates. So anyway, what do I know? That's last match. If we have a problem with it, we can go back and watch it and decipher it even more. But at the moment, we do see Pig load in. Sorry? Oh.
We have no pain res.
Oh. Well, we do have Corrupt, though. I was anticipating that. We have Handkerchief and Coffee, but yeah, no pain res.
That is really interesting. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I really felt like that was important to point out. This is a very surprising perk to see. The lack of obviously choosing Call of Brian in its place. Also no Ruin. We are picking to have the Pop Eruption combo. Do you think Pig, because I believe Pop Eruption and Pain Res are combo banned altogether, do you think we've opted to leave Pain Res behind altogether? Oh my god, beautiful
Oh.
to get that down. That's one down before we've even crossed the map. My word.
What you don't have to worry about is looking for good RNG as well on the side of Pain Res, and I think he's just more comfortable with Pop Eruption because he'll always have those perks at his disposal so long as he's getting hooks. And, you know, if he's that confident in getting hooks, yeah, no wonder he brought the 2 perks that don't really matter where you hook in the map. But nevertheless, we are going to be looking around this 6 tile. We don't see any stealthing survivors, so we can anticipate that he'll be going on Gen Patrol straight after, as he does do another last quick look around the shack to see if there's anybody there. There isn't, and oh my god, just the mechanics. You can already see the movement and just the fact that his power usage is already way above what Mark was using last set, so you can just tell that he's much more confident on this kill as to oppose of Mar, unfortunately, but unfortunately for Ancestor. Sorry
to cut you off. To add on to that as well, I do want to point out something that I see Pig doing, which is very interesting and not readily known, as we do see Leon heading in for the trade here in basement, but we will obviously be taking that tag. Interesting decision to slug. I feel like with the win con being so low, we could have just taken the hook, but we are playing for the best result, it seems, on the side of Pig. But what Pig is doing, and is something that is lesser known about this killer, is it is optimal when using your power for movement to not use your last bound, because it does lose you distance overall, and he is cancelling that final bound when he is just traversing the map. But we do obviously see this second down come onto Olympus. It is another basement hook, and Leon is still slugged in there. First generator of the trial, popping Hunter. Problems?
Just problems all around, unfortunately, for poor Ancestor at the moment. Pig in such a dominant position, having 2 hooks in the basement, 3 stages currently at the board. We're already at the tie condition. All he has to do is basically camp someone to second or camp someone to death, and he's just taken home the set. He has his nice vantage point as well, so if there's anybody rotating for this save, they're just not going to be able to do anything. He's so fluent. He's not even bumping into anything. He knows all the points of where he needs to traverse, and he's just not getting stuck on anything. So there has been someone to be able to evade his line of sight, stealth through and get the pull, which is very nice and handy in the side of Ancestor, but right now they can't afford any type of down of the sort. Right now, Pig just playing around this tile very nicely, getting caught out there, unfortunately. So a little bit of Caster's cursing that I was saying he was being like way too fluent. He's bound to make a blunder somewhere along the lines, but it's not even going to matter that much. We're going to do zone breaking all the way back down into one, blocking him from the pallet. I do say there's going to be a quick down, unfortunately, on the side of Olympus. And as we do the pick, unless there is somebody ready for the save, which I don't think... Oh, no, I ate my words, there was, but they unfortunately missed the pallet save, and that will be go to Dagestan, going away to 3, not Dagestan, but trying to loop this Fun Bus here. Fun Bus, not as strong as what it used to be, unfortunately. Going to be eating that Kagune tag, and as we do send Olympus back into Olympus or heaven up above, wherever it is, that will be the win solidified for Pig. That is 4 stages, and well done to him. At 3 gens remaining, we can still head for the 4K, the best possible result. And as we do leave go to Dagestan, we are trying to find out that reset that happened back onto Leon and Aether. Back onto, I think Leon reset himself. I'm not too sure, because Aether is on a gen at the moment. Or they just reset, and then we just went on the gen on the side of Aether. Who knows? Didn't see it, but we're going to be committing the chase back onto whoever scratch mark this is. This is Go to Dagestan, just kind of caught out over at 1, as we did leave them just momentarily earlier, and preemptively vaulting straight into the loving embrace of Pig is going to spell another stage. A lot of jokes. We are going to be slugging that and going all the way down to our eruption proc, where we see the aura of, I do believe that is Leon, running all the way down into quarter 5. You are being caught out, sir. The down wasn't caught out early enough, and now we're going to be taking chase back onto 5 here. No, we are opting to leave and bait out, maybe. I'm not too sure what's happening here. Pig, just in such a dominant spot, he can really do anything at this point, and it'll just like progress the game. But we haven't managed to find out our David. He was just kind of cornered 5, and I don't think he moved from there, as we did see him just stand still for a moment. We do manage to pop a generator, as we have left go to Dagestan to just lie on the floor and just be rendered obsolete. At this point in time, just kind of out of the game. We do see someone crossing by. That is our Lori Aether, who had just momentarily popped that gen, and going all the way down to the 4 side here over at 8, playing the pallet, greeting it, probably making some distance.
Oh, I don't think we're making any distance at all, Hunter.
That's nice and lovely.
That is definitely what
You know what?
Aether needed to do, and that is definitely what Leon needed to be doing at that moment in time. I think the game plan might have fallen apart a little bit for Ancestor at this point. Obviously, the 3v1 at 2 gens. Oh, we get grabbed. Okay. This has been a minute of gameplay where the game is really being played at a way where the game is playing. So, you know, I do believe Dagestan is also going to be promptly on the ground yet again. I don't see another gen popping Hunter. I'm not too sure about you. No gens really have progress. Leon is on hook. Aether, injured, going for the unhook, will probably be on the ground himself yet again as Dagestan is left on the bottom side of the map. That is the down, with Leon chasing after him just to try to get that body block in, but to no avail. And we will probably also be on the ground yet again ourselves. And maybe even dead on hook in the next couple of seconds if Pig is able to capitalize on his rushes around main right now. Getting the Kagune tag, just buying Leon a little bit of extra time in this chase, Hunter. What's the game plan from the survivors?
Stand in front of the hook and point. I'm kidding, I'm joking, don't do that. No, never, don't do that. Honestly, take chase to where there's resources. I do think that, you know, around that 9 side is where a few pallets will be. Make sure that you're having some adequate chases to potentially even get one generator popped. We do see Aether on the floor at the moment, and go to Dagestan just kind of caught in the middle of it all. So yeah, we're going to be going back to where we previously slugged all the way over at 8. We do see the pickup just happen there. They probably would have crawled. They crawled around to 12, so they did get the pickup there behind main. They are still able to take back the game just a little bit here, but it is going to be slow and painful for our survivors. We do see this generator over at 6 having a little bit of progress on it. Going to be kicked with Pig, and he does have Eruption. Call of Brine just kind of proc there. I mean, that's the beauty of having Call of Brine as well. It does really tie into these perks, these other selections that he's chosen to bring into the match. When you look at the build collectively, Chief, as we were pointing out just earlier on in the trial, as we were loading in that, when we have Pop Eruption, Call of Brine just synergized with those 2 perks so much well than Pain Res ever will. Okay, sorry, I was stumbling on my words a little bit there, but they are just 3 perks that work so well together and that aren't genuinely perceived as too overly powered, in all honesty. On it by itself, you know, Call of Brine is one trick value, but in conjunction with everything else, you are only just getting rewarded for playing the game realistically, kicking gens, getting downs. It's just passive regression realistically, but as we do a little bit of mind games, whoopty-whoopty over at the window, as Fizz likes to say, we are going to be taking chase back over to 7, pre-dropping this pallet on the side to go to Dagestan, and he is going to be going on the floor. And now we're going to take our dashes all the way back over to 1, where we anticipate that the furthest gen is the one being worked, and we are correct. We see Aether haul us all the way back down to 12, all the way to 1, and we are going to be getting caught out, unfortunately. The Vault coming in from Pig now. Going to be playing the mind games around the team. No, it does seem that we have, I think that was Life in hand. I can't really see because of the Discord stream, and I do apologize if that wasn't a sort of speed burst. It was, okay. I'm not entirely stupid. But we are going to be taking chase back onto 10 here. Slap on the pallet in the face of our killer Pig there, who's going to be not breaking it, but trying to zone Aether back into the map. Choosing not to break the pallet there. Going to be playing the check spots very nicely. We are going to ego the pallet a little bit on the side of Pig, but I do think he can still get this down just via the M1 here. Some very nice mind games. The flick up as well. This is something that I'm seeing Pig do quite often, is trying to... I'm not too sure what it does, if it hides the red stain a little bit better, or if it's just range of motion thing, or maybe just something he likes to do. Maybe there's some sort of method to his madness. Maybe we can ask him at the end of the match. But that will be another hook on to Aether, and go to Dagestan as soon as we find them for the 4K2, which seems to be the average result back in the day when we were seeing Gospel really take the ghoul sets into hand over in Season 3, and as Synergy at the time. My God, how can I ever forget that? I mean, one of the greatest matches in OSL history was the 4K5 from Dokes, if you guys do remember that, but we are struggling to find to go to Dagestan here, just crawling off into the hook there. Trying to, you know, speed up the game a little bit, and I do really applaud that. I really do appreciate when there's a good sportsmanship to make sure that the game, you know, ends as quickly as it can with results like this. Pig just unfortunately not quite clicking onto it as you would as you know, any killer main. You wouldn't really expect our slugging survivor to go all the way back down to the hook here. So, you know, he's still going to be checking around the map, anticipating that they're just hiding out somewhere. And, you know, sometimes they're just right underneath your nose or in the most obvious spot possible. And that's your PSA, to be checking lockers every now and again. Hey, you never know, right? You think that the guy's just stealthing over in the corner of the map, but it turns out he just hopped that ass into a locker and you just don't know about it. But we are still looking. We do see some crows over here, so, like, you know, it's kind of baiting us into thinking that maybe the slug has crawled around to this area. And I think Pig is on the same wavelength. He is going to be taking his dashes back into the middle of the map, still really struggling to find Go to Dagestan, and the bleed out timer coming by so quickly. But even with the fresh hook not awarded to us, it doesn't even matter, as we've already won on generators, regardless of the minus 0.5 or whatever for the extra what, not add-on, what's it called, offering that was brought into the match. And we do find to Go to Dagestan anyway, but that will be this match just done and dusted. Is there any final words you want to add, Chief? Ancestor, yeah, last night against Reactor, they were able to emerge victorious. Maybe a different story here as Pig loads in. Is he confident on the Blight? We should see a shoulder bump onto the tree very nicely. Bumping, it does seem that he is you know, well induced on the mechanics here, just off those two rushes is what I can see. You know, usually you can tell just via the bump logic who is well versed in the Blight as opposed of who isn't. And we do spot out our first chase here. I'm not too sure who this is, but they elected to use the window over into Shack, and that is so lovely that it just ties in from that filler pallet over at that bottom mid side. Just pallet straight into God window. That's absolutely lovely to see. But we do manage to catch out Leon, just kind of just being a sit and duck, unfortunately. Going to be eating a tag and dropping the pallet and just kind of zoned into the back of 5 here. We do see our survivors just kind of stealthing around. One in basement as well, playing a little too safe. I think that's the one that vaulted in the basement first up, Go to Dagestan. Probably just going to be playing for the pull of some sort. Nice and greedy on the side of Leon, but unfortunately, just not very reactive to the check spots there. Some slow reaction time. This is going to be a basement hook. So actually, no, it's not. If that was a basement hook, that was bad news bears for Go to Dagestan. He would have forced him to go into a locker, and that would have allowed Pig to potentially even hear it. But got to be hooking to this bottom mid side of the map and just going to be rushing to the top side. And then if we look at our gen spread, it's pretty forgiving, in all honesty. It's not too harsh on the survivors, although it definitely can be at times. There is some sort of a 3-gen here at top side, as we do see 1, 2, 3 just all in a line via Deja Vu there. We do get Deli in hand once we are unhooked safe and sound on the side of Leon here. Endurance status effect to kind of just make that quite concrete, and unfortunately Pig just fatiguing short there. Going to be following up the chase here over at this mid side of the map, pulling down to try and avoid collision. I do like this tech a lot here from Pig, but the camera movement is making me look a little bit getting me a little bit dizzy, in all honesty. The nice locker juke there by Leon, but this is going to be a pick up onto them. I'm not too sure if this is the anti-tunnel build. It's not, and this could be bad news bears if we're not careful here, Chief.
Yeah, hello everybody. Obviously Hunter has just stolen the show there with some absolutely beautiful casting to start the game off. We do have Pig back on the Blight, and you are right. This second down with no gens popping a hook top, pop in hand, able to disrupt this most active gen. Aether is going to pop 10 though, which is obviously a little consolidation, but I wouldn't be too surprised if we are heading over there right away. We do see it pop, and we know pretty much where every survivor is now, Hunter. We obviously... Actually, I'm not too sure if Pig could. He might not be aware that someone is still bottom, though I wouldn't be too surprised if he is guessing that. We do have 2 survivors top, and I think the game plan now will just be pressure these survivors and make sure this unhook can't come in for free, maybe even play for a tag on the top side. The V1 into a nice tag onto Olympus here. And a wretched fate on the board. We did see Aether about to cleanse it, but I think he's just opted to get off that totem before cleansing it because of where the chase was. Yeah, indeed, Aether is just on that totem main. So, Hunter, I guess problems now is this trade is going to come in. It is going to be a full trade. We're not going to hit BT. And we're actually just going to take the hook. Oh, no, we're not. Okay. Lovely stuff. Hunter, problems if Leon can't last here. Death at 4, maybe even 3, will not be setting us up for the outs that we will be needing if we want a chance of taking this set.
Yeah, definitely really need a last here. Pre-dropping the pallet over at main as well. And a little bit of failed bump logic on the side of Peak here. Confident in the killer. Oh, that was nice passage to play there. Nice bump logic, a nice down, and that will be our tunnel out solidified. So as I'm meeting my words, Pig will be removing Leon from his game, as we do see another generator in the background proc, as we do need that on the side of our survivors here. They are resetting the stealth. That was Shaq being doubled, I do believe, and the chase being taken back onto Aether here. Our split very favorable on the side of our survivors. No 3-gen to really be held here. They've played immaculately well, as we do have this middle generator, 2 top side, 2 bot side. Actually, no, it's 3 top side. I'm lying straight through my teeth. I didn't manage to see it. Sometimes a little bit hard to see when the camera's shaking and all that, but nevertheless, going to be taking the chase back onto Aether, who's going to be pre-dropping this pallet. Playing no life in hand, unfortunately. We have used sprint burst already, and this might just be a quick tag if we're not careful. Yeah, just the crouch not really quite coming in, and the MVP of Division 2 just kind of being made. Oh, but we're slugging it. We do have Unbreakable just sitting in the back pocket, as I do like to say.
Hunter. I think he used it after the trade because he picked himself up and then reset with inner. There was no involvement from another survivor there, so I think he's just going to be on the ground. And Dagestan now, if he does go down, actually getting the stun just to prevent a really bad tag there, but will zone himself edge if unlucky. Actually, might just be taking a tag to begin with. Hunter, if this is a quick down and Olympus doesn't rotate for the pick now, he's sticking the gen, we could just be seeing a 4K2.
Yeah, I think that's what they're even playing towards at the moment. I mean, go to Dagestan pre-dropping that Shaq pallet, trying to run back into corner 7. Pig not having any of it, so there's still 2 survivors in the trial. Well, active in the trial, sorry. 1 survivor currently out of the trial being on the hook. You know, it could have been 2 survivors out of the trial at the moment. And we are going all the way back down to the top side. Do we make it just before the gen pops? I think we do. And we see the scratch marks. And there's no generator progress anywhere else on the map. So he knows if he kicks this and does down Olympus in a favorable position, he can even hold the 4K3, which would be even more monumental than the result that we were potentially anticipating, the 4K2. So we are going to be playing around this little short filler here. We have to fatigue the rush here. There's no way to flick this. So we do so very nicely. Going to be faking the window on the side of Olympus, but Pig not going to preemptively swing that. He has no reason to. He has enough distance to close in and still get the hit, even if there was a medium vault. And even if there wasn't a medium vault, he still makes it. So, Pig. Oh, lovely work there. And you'd love to see it. So, I don't know. It's just sometimes you see, I think it's probably him going for the fancy stuff. And, you know, you see Blights connect with that fancy stuff all the time. But Pig relying more so on the macro at the moment. But don't get me wrong. You know, if I had to rate his Blight skills out of 10, and look, okay, they're a lot better than mine. But I would say probably around a 7 or 8. And we are going to be catching out Aether going down, unfortunately. Going to be getting the pick up there and then hooking straight topside once more. Go to Dagestan in our world full of hurt, Chief.
Yeah, I mean, we're checking the bottom side, Hunter, but I'm not even too sure Pig needs to do this. Yeah, actually, we're not opting to even check at all. We're just going to hold the cross. We know Dagestan is probably bottom. We actually just catch him 8. That is mighty unfortunate time to be seen. So I think this probably will be the final chase of the game. Pig is most likely not going to let him cross up the map for free. Definitely, as we do see a tag coming in on the 8 side of the map, forced to play around this bot mid tile. Yeah, this is just the 4K3 secured. You know, Dagestan would have to do something incredible from that position, which he was unable to with the down coming in. A Hunter, another Pig domination. Are we surprised? I can't say that I am all too much. This was just a beautiful display of incredible macro decisions, timing every single situation perfectly. His mechanics were sublime, even if they weren't too
playing for this set, which is quite interesting. But it makes sense considering that we were told that they didn't really like playing the S tier killers, or most of them didn't. So there would be naturally a few survivors that would be, hey, we ain't playing this set. So, yeah, I mean, wow. They don't really have too much to do other than just pop 3 generators. In all honesty, they can pop 2 generators, but that'll be the tie condition. But again, like you had said, like you were leaning more towards, it is Chinese dragons. You expect them to just get outs on a set like this, and they follow up with the gameplay that they made just on the first set. I fear for it, in all honesty. I wonder what's going to happen, what kind of build that we're going to get, though. Are we going to see anything different to last match? We saw Wretched Fate, and I don't think that's a popular pick in the OCE region.
We see it again.
But we see it again. Yeah, we see it again. And we do see the pop and eruption, which does seem to be the stock standard norm. Usually people do be bringing Caller Brine. I'm just not too sure if it's actually allowed on the tier ones or have to revise the balancing. But we do see double speed being the add-on choices that are brought into the match. I don't think that'll be changing anytime soon. But we are going to be taking chase onto Lin here, who was our first chase in the first set of the series. Going to be greeting this pallet very nicely, but being pushed into the backside 5 of the map. Going to be blinding, and I think that's Champion of Light 2. We're able to evade without scratch marks, but we have been caught out in the edge map, and we are going to be eating this quick tag. Not a strong start as we would have seen in the Ghoul set, but preemptively dropping that Shack pallet, unzoning ourselves back into the bottom section of the map, pre-dropping this pallet now. It's going to make the bump logic a lot harder to play on the side of Ma. We are going to be breaking that bottom side pallet again, just zoning Lin back into 8, but does have another filler pallet to be working with here. Another blind coming in, the Champion of Light coming into effect. We're going to be using it again to go all the way to the pallet gym, and we're going to be getting slapped through it, and the quick down at the cost of 2 gens, almost halfway progressed. So not the worst thing in the world for our killer. We are on the right path directory. We do have somebody, Sakuda, with medkit in hand. This is our Delhi player, so no debating here, but this will be the Delhi setup, as we do have 2 survivors in the background working those generators. Is not the worst thing in the world. Ma just taking this hook basement here. Going to be a little bit hard for him to pressure the hook and pressure the gens as well, because considering the gens are so far away from this hook, we are going towards the wrong direction, as we do not see anybody working 3. We do see someone working 10. Do we hear it? And we do. We are commencing chase all the way back into 10, where Pig is going to be looping, trying to get to main building. But we do see that we have left on the side of our Blight, who is going to be going back down to the basement, trying to get that tunnel out as quick as possible. We do see the bodies coming in from Sakura, trying to take a hit just so we get those 2 generators solidified in the background, and that does commence. What does happen? We are tagging Sakura, going to be running back into Shack, but Lin, forced all the way to bottom mid again, has this nice pallet, this R&L walk here, going to be playing the pallet, not the window. Very nice work. Going to be making the window too, but opting to fake it. Pig coming in for the hit means that HHY has access to finish his generator, and I do say that it's not 10, I don't believe. I don't remember what generator here was working, but it doesn't matter because we are still chasing. No, it is 10 actually. 10 didn't pop. So this is the eruption generator, but unfortunately, just the down coming in not quick enough, and we are at the tie condition with 4 survivors left in the trial as it currently stands. The heal also coming in the background as well, so everybody nice and healthy other than our survivor on hook at the moment. And you know, with a bottom side hook, with the generator so far away from these gens bottom side as well, this is going to be extremely hard for our killer to, you know, kind of maintain the pressure and make sure that the game stays stagnant. We do down Pig, and we are going to slug this. It'd be crazy to pick that up, but we do see the pull happen in the background in the FTP, so maybe we can just go back for the pick, but we've opted to slug here and try to go for a little bit of a snowball effect, and this can easily really put us in a world full of hurt if we're not careful. So I do agree with the play, but it has to succeed. It can't fail at any point in time. We do see Lin just start chewing through these pallets here, making sure that they just stay alive. At this point, your just sole initiative as Tunnel Out is just to live. Doesn't matter if you take chase to an active generator, you're on death hook anyway. We are going to be eating a tag here over at 11. No, we are going to be evading it very nicely, vaulting the pallet back into the map, but getting zoned away. Playing the 50s very nicely and winning every single one. Another swing. My God, we maybe just have to stop egoing this pallet and try to zone Lin back into 11, but we are going to be eventually eating a tag with the fact that we just have Bloodlust on the Blight. Dead Hard coming in! Oh my God, I'm trying not to yell too much. Chief, why don't you take it away and maybe you can finish the job, because that hurt my voice.
I mean, Lin has just won unwinnable 50s again and again. Hit the dead hard as we see the 3rd generator of the trial pop. That will be the win for Chinese Dragons, and they are just going to continue playing for the best result. And Lin is giving Ma nothing to work with on this main pallet. He will be making it again, winning the pallet continuously. This chase is, I mean, Lin has put on an incredible display tonight all round. He's dead on the pallet. The save will come in as well, Hunter. Oh my word. We've seen it again. Lin with another chase that has just lasted so long. Getting saved to extend it even more. Hunter, I actually do want to rewind us back a little bit. Obviously, the game is now over, but I think there was actually a chance for Ma to somehow secure a 4K3. We obviously got the down onto Pig at 5 and slugged it, which did give us a fair bit of momentum. Now, I think there was a real play that we could have let Lin cross to 11 as the tunnel out. You just want to take your distance and get away from the chase. Sakuda is now also being chased 5 and will be going down promptly on this gen, which is active, but Pig will be popping another gen elsewhere. I believe it is probably top. It may also be, it is top mid. It will pop. So that is what you want to be seeing. But I feel like there was a real situation with Pig on the ground, Sakuda injured in mid-map, that we could have also downed and slugged Sakuda, and then found our generator, which was 10, which obviously Mark couldn't have known at the time, but would have been able to very easily check, to get another quick down there, if possible, to 3 slug, and somehow secure that 4K3, or at least the 4K2 in any way. Obviously, that's not what happened. We did opt to go for the tunnel out, but I feel like that play would have been very heads up if we were able to capitalize on it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you make a good point there. You make a good case in point, but unfortunately, we are just dealing with the cards that we've been dealt. Lin making one of the final chases in the trial here as the double in the generator comes in the trial at the background over at the bottom side of the map. Pig also here for the hit take as well. Going to be running all the way back down to the middle side of the map as maybe we continue on. No, we're going to play for the most stages possible. I do like that. Do like playing for the best possible result. Pig going down and Eruption proccing over at 5, which is the gen being doubled, but we are going for the pick. And do we have enough time to get the hook and go all the way back down to 5? We are opting to go for a hook closer to the generator here, but I do think it's a little bit of a blunder considering the fact that they just popped now. They should have just taken the hook over in mid. I know he wanted the hook 5 because it was closer to the generator, but they're just going to play greedy for it, and bam, they are away. This is going to be another tap onto Sakuda, maybe a tap onto Pig, and we might be in trouble. Yes. It's, oh.
That is unfortunate on the side of Sakuda. Just obviously keeping his eyes on the killer as much as possible to get that SB swing and just not realizing what's in front. Oh my god, that
what the hell?
What have we just seen? I think there might have been a little bit of lag assisting him with that one there. I don't think the Blight's been changed to do that, but HNY just wins this edge map. Z-Wall vaults into the killer right after. Unfortunate, but we do see with a lot of survivors around him, and Sakuda here as well, who is injured. We're not able to get the hit through the window, unfortunately. But, I mean, at this point, I guess he's just playing to have some fun, trying to get that best result, as we do say. The pick will come into it will come in the background onto HNY. Ma is aware of this, does look back, but he is still chasing Sakuda. I don't know if he realizes this is Delhi, and if he does get the down, even this close to the gates and hooks it, he still most likely will be able to get out. Which is going to be, he's just in the lock, he's full forcing it as well, he knows. Actually, no, that was just to avoid, and we still have Lin here to take the hit. Sakuda is going to get his SB back just... Maybe. He might not. He doesn't have it back just yet. Some extra walking. He has it in hand now. He's going to use it to get around logs, but the down will most likely still come in. We did not have the lockers to juke, and we will slow vault out, take the down. All our other survivors are here. Lin is still injured. We're going to take the chase in the HMY regardless. At this point, Hunter, I'm not too sure what the game plan is from Ma. I think he's just taking the tags where he can get them. Most of the survivors will be able to get out. So picking the deli as well. If he does hook close, he will just be able to make it out with BT and SB, potentially with a hit as well. But you know, yeah, a lot of survivors still in the trial. I'm assuming they'll play for this. There's no reason not to, Hunter. I guess at this point the question will be, will they all get out? Will Sakuda die on this hook? Because I don't really have much else for us to talk about.
No, deli. SB2, he's out. No way. Oh my god. And you love to see it if you're on the side of Chinese Dragons. Nah, that's crazy. Beautiful stuff from them, honestly. But that will remain another 4-stage game this time around. So also